Good afternoon, folks. This is Hunter Jackson again with Giant Recreation World, Winter Garden, Florida. I have a super unique video for you today. We're going to be showcasing two RVs. So today we're going to take a look at the 2025 Coachmen Catalina 134BHX and right behind me, the 134RKX. BH standing for Bunkhouse and RK standing for Rear Kitchen. These are so closely related and they are almost on the exact same platform that I figured it would be good to show them both because they fit very specific needs. One is going to be for obviously families and the other is probably going to be for somebody that needs something small, lightweight, easy to tow, and for couples. So let's go ahead, let's get right into it and take a look. Let's see what we think. Let's go. Alrighty folks, and just like normal, let's go ahead and start off on the front on this 2025 Coachmen Catalina. We are going to do an outside showing on the 134BHX, although they're almost identical to one another, and then we'll do an inside showing for both. So right off the front here, first thing I noticed, we have one 20-pound LP tank. These are the ones that you can exchange at any gas station or most any gas station here in America, as well as a manual front tongue jack. I almost always recommend a power front tongue jack. Now for this specific model and the one over there, these are super lightweight. I believe I looked at 2,200 pounds. So it may not be the biggest deal in the world to have to crank that up, you know, once every campsite. It's not going to strain your arm too much. Moving around to the side, I want to point out we do get actually some pretty darn good pass-through storage. I've seen campers that are much longer than this that don't give you the amount of storage. And then I want to show you right here, hopefully we can see them in the daytime. Coachmen is doing these beautiful LEDs that go all the way up the side cap here. I believe I showed this on my video of the 184, but go ahead and take a look at the link in the description and see if I remembered. Also want to point out, we are wired for solar. So it's got the wiring laid in there. However, you're still going to add your charge controller and your two panels on the roof. There are immediate hookups on the roof for those solar panels. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. I wish they had gone ahead and just included the panels and let you buy the charge controller, but such is life, Coachmen. Also, you'll notice we do have wood framing throughout this coach. Not surprising because this is going to be our corrugated aluminum exterior. We get a nice cute little awning. I want to say this is probably, I don't know, 8 feet across. Still super neat that they decided to include it. And let's go ahead and show you, I don't think y'all believe me how small this trailer is. We are looking at 2,222 pounds and 16 feet tip to tail, including the bumper. This is a tiny guy with 4 dedicated spaces for sleeping. We do have our LED light strip that goes across the awning, a nice large window for the people that get to sleep on the top bunk, and a JBL sound system. So this is an entry-level trailer for sure, but Coachmen does a good job about going above and beyond on certain features like, I don't know, lighting, sound, tires. We're looking at, let's see here, Westlakes. These are the ones with the nice big knobs on them, and they are like 15-inch rims. Yep, 15-inch rims on those tires there. Before I skip it, because I seem like I do sometimes, we do have our 2 solid steps going in there. Another sign that this is an upgraded entry-level coach. Nice, beautiful graphics that go around here. Because this trailer's so small, Coachmen decided to do 2 stab jacks here in the back, nothing up there in the front, although you can always add them aftermarket. I don't know if they have the screw holes in there or if you'd need to weld it on. Either way, it's not really that big of a deal. Moving off to the rear here, we do have our 4-inch bumper for our Stinky Slinky. It's going to be a nice added feature. I don't really care for when they don't add the bumpers there in the back. God forbid somebody hits the back of your trailer. Man, that'd be a real bad day not to have a steel bumper in their way. Ooh, that rhymed. Nice. You can see we do have our backup camera prep up ahead. This is our Furrion, as well as a Lippert ladder prep up there too. Hopefully you guys got a good view of the the rooftop during that intro video. Another thing I want to point out, we do have our city water connection and our black tank flush, both located closely to one another, so you can run one hose, you know, to almost all the way there and then split them off in a Y at the very end. Small difference I noticed, but I might as well point it out. On the 134RKX, remember we were looking at the 134BHX, they put the city and the black tank much closer together. Still on the same side. I like this even more, but the other one didn't bother me at all. We've got LED taillights. And then moving around to the away from the campsite of the RV, again, nice beautiful graphics. I want to point out the main and biggest difference between the two, and that's going to be this small storage compartment here off the back side. This is going to be a terrific place to go ahead and put your water and sewer hoses in here. The reason they're able to do this is it's above where the sink is in there, and they just don't have that option on the BHX. But as far as the exterior, this and the two black flush and city water connections are the only two exterior differences between these two coaches. We do have one, and not surprising, one sewer port, but this is with a traditional black and gray tank, which is a nice feature. Sometimes when you get into these small teardrops, or, I mean, Coachmen has the Viking line where they run cassette style toilets. So I like that it's still gonna feel like home, where you have to actually dump it at the very end. We have our cable and satellite TV connection here. Obviously our power input. This is a 30 amp coach, not surprising. And then moving off to the side, we've got our freshwater fill port here. So I don't really care where the freshwater fill port is. Most people don't end up taking their water with them, so it's not a huge deal. We do have the back side of our furnace exhaust here. And then we have a 6-gallon tanked hot water heater. I believe this is a gas electric tank. Yes, a gas electric tanked hot water heater. So you can run either or, depending on if you're dry camping or at a campground. Now let's move off to the front here again and show you these nice, beautiful LED lights. All right, and let's step inside this 16-foot tip-to-tail camper here. Check this out. I mean, I'm gonna struggle even showing everything here. They just pack so much into a small amount of space. We do have a queen size bed over here. This isn't a long queen. I want to say that this is a 60 by, what do they make it, like 72 or 68, something like that. We'll put it up on the screen for you. But they included some nice storage here off to the side, which it looks like my bed sheet got caught on that. We've got 110 ports and USB-A, USB-C, a nice TV connection, and this wall is backed for a TV here. Up above, we've got a storage shelf over here. This is a narrow body camper, so one thing that I will point out, which, I mean, we're in a small camper, so you gotta live with it, but there is no hanging storage for clothing in here. They do include a little night light for, you know, reading up above here. But let's go ahead and back off into the kitchen area. You can see we've got our 2-burner stove, a nice small microwave for, you know, just small bags of popcorn, little things while you're camping, and then a, you know, I don't know, 1 foot by 1.5 foot sink here. They've included some storage down below. Very nice for all your cleaning supplies, pots, pans. Below that is going to be your furnace, and this is going to put out quite a bit of heat, plenty to keep this coach warm. And then another storage compartment here off to the side. Above the sink area, we have one last storage compartment for probably, you know, pantry, food storage. We've got our goodie bag that'll come with you once you purchase the coach. And then backing off, you can see we've got 2 bunk beds in here. I mean, this, I'm struggling to back up in this camper. It's very, very small. If it's a niche market, this is for the folks that don't want to switch out of their minivan, but they still want to be able to bring the whole crew camping over the weekend. Zooming in, you can see our JBL sound system as well as our control panel. So we've got our interior lights, exterior lights, water pump, and then we can toggle to do either gas or electric. Nice sized refrigerator down below here with even a small freezer portion up above. Just enough to be able to put some popsicles in there for the kiddos. Let me get one more pan there. Nice. And then below that, we do have our fuse panel as well as our propane and CO detector. I do want to point out beneath the bed here, we do get some additional storage. Plenty of space to be able to put those plastic totes in here. And let me see how much space we've got in these beds here. Alright, don't make too much fun of me here. Oh, as I try to sneak into these bunks, these are definitely for the kiddos here. But at 6'1", and check out that nightlight, I can... So fully extended, my feet and my head are just barely touching, but for anybody that was under 6 foot, actually as an adult, you could sleep on this fairly comfortably. I don't know if you could see it from the angle, but I'm looking at two 110 ports and another USB-A, USB-C port here. And then it looks like the top bunk is only going to get USB-A, USB-C, no 110. Should be fine just for charging devices, but something to be noted. Alright, and before we jump in this bathroom here, one thing that I think is a huge deal on this Coachmen is going to be the AC on this. This is the new GE AC with the AC and the heat pump included. So if you don't want to run your furnace down here in Florida, this is going to be plenty to keep this whole coach warm even in the Florida winters. Winters? I'm from Indiana. And then check out this bathroom here. Not a whole lot to see. We've got a simple toilet, a shower here. Let's see what kind of headroom. Oh, and a mirror to get ready. Let's see what kind of headroom though we've got to get ready in. Turn our nice beautiful light on, and you know what? Actually, this isn't too bad. I mean, we're looking at a 16-foot camper, a 13-foot box, and my head is not touching the roof here. It's just enough to get wet, get yourself cleaned off, and get back outside where the camping's at. Get one more pan around on the 134BHX with the bunkhouse. Very nice. Our kitchen and storage. Sweet. Let's go check out the 134 rear kitchen. All right, let's go ahead and step into the ideal couples version of the 134 line. Very similar, directly off to your right as you walk in is that same size, you know, queen bed that they're using, probably some weird measurement that the RV industry uses. Again, we've got our outlets and our USB-A, USB-C, but it would appear as if they deleted the ability to put the TV over here, and I'm going to show you where it goes here in a second. Again, a nice light directly below, the shelf that runs across, and that same storage that we saw over on the other one. The difference being this is going to have a window here instead of the ability to put a TV. The reason they do that is because we have a beautiful couch over here. So this is going to be perfect for two. You could put a couple TV trays over you if you're eating at night. We've got storage underneath here. Show you. It just kind of pops off like that. For lots of, well, I said lots of, some small little plastic totes would be perfect in there. Putting that back up, and it's not going to stay for me because you need to clip it into place. But this does jackknife, so let me go ahead and demonstrate that for you real quick. So as you can see, this is actually a fairly comfortable couch. Like, I could sit here and watch a movie. The back is very cushioned. But if for some reason you needed to have an extra person stay in your 13-foot camper, you do have an additional bed right here. You pull up from the bottom just like on all the jackknives. Lay that thing down flat, and let's see how much space we've got going on here. Enough for a 5.5-foot person, adult or child. So not a huge bed here. It's going to be an emergency situation only for sure. This is ideally for your couples, but sometimes you might have, you know, the grandson or grandchild, granddaughter coming with you, and so this will give you a little bit of flexibility in this space. So now that we've seen the couch, let's see what I was talking about as far as, you know, watching a movie. So right above where your refrigerator goes, that's where your TV connection is now. You do have storage up above in here. Probably would use that for pantry storage if it were me. And then same style of fridge down below. Plenty of space as far as fridge goes. A little bit small on the freezer side. But again, I can't knock them too hard. This is a 13-foot box and the thing weighs 2,000 pounds. So they really do cram a lot in here, a lot of bang for your buck. Same thing as on the other one, we do have the new GE AC with the heat pump and AC combined into one. 2-burner stove, small sink, small microwave, and cabinet space up above here. And would you look at that, we're consistent. We put our goodie bags all in the same area. And check this out, it actually does go back into here so they don't waste that space in the corner there. Underneath your large or tabletop space here, you've got the storage is beneath this portion, and then you've got GFCI outlets over there. This is going to make a nice little coffee bar, or even, what do you call those things, air fryer kind of setup in here. Down below the sink, we've got one more cabinet door. This is going to be a good place for those soaps, maybe even extra food, because, you know, storage is going to be limited in something like this. So you're going to have to make do with the storage that you got. And then check this out. Similar style bathroom in here. We've got our toilet, our nice shower, same amount of headroom. I won't demonstrate it twice. And then we've got a mirror to get ready in the morning. I do like that we have a switch for the light. That was consistent in both of them. They've given you a towel rack and then a couple other outlets up here. That's going to be your GFCI outlets. Very cool. Let me get one more little pan around of the 2025 Coachmen 134RKX, and across the way, the Coachmen 134BHX. Alrighty folks, that was a fairly unique review. I haven't done one like that before. When I walked out onto the lot, I couldn't decide what to do, and these two things were sitting right next to one another, and it seems like they're fairly hot right now. This fits a very specific market. These are for folks that don't want to upgrade their vehicle. They may have a smaller SUV or even like a minivan. A lot of minivans can tow anywhere from 2 to 3,500 pounds. You need 3,500 pounds to do one of these, but these days cars are getting much better and better. Like always, if you made it this far in the video, I would love if you could like, comment, subscribe. Those are the things that really help grow the channel out here. And if you're interested in seeing anything else, we carry Forest River, Coachmen, Keystone, and Thor products. So leave a comment down in the description below, and I'd love to film that for the next video. That's all for now. That's all I got. So we'll see you next week. Later.